Hello. Right, it's Michelle again, and Hesketh Emporium, all of those things. Anyway, I have a new pair of glasses. Another pair. These are for reading as well. No, they're not for reading. Apologies. These are for long distance. And the reason I have these, as well as these varifocals, which I love, is because it turns out I have a weak muscle in my eye and it's been causing double vision. So here we go. I have these for distance and they have a prism in them. Really amazing what they do with glasses nowadays. Anyway, I have to wear those for distance. I also have to wear these for reading because you can't wear prism lenses when you've got varifocals because it'll affect your reading and your middle distance, because mine do reading, middle distance, far. So who knew all of this stuff? I've been sitting here playing around, trying to make a cord that I actually like. And this is very pretty, I thought anyway, till I put it on and I thought, oh gosh, that's really in your face big. So I'm going to have to rethink the whole thing. Much thinner. I might use some cotton thread, like really fine cotton thread for doilies and tablecloths and stuff. But in the meantime, I was just playing around with some patterns and I did a cord using double crochet, which I thought some of you might like to learn. So I've used a double knitting, and this is a 3.5 millimeter hook. It really doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's the thickness you want it to come out at. So what I'm going to do is I am going to flip you around. I'm going to try and find a spot for my phone while I show you how I do this. So there you go. Hold on a second. Right, I'm knitting socks. More socks, more socks, more socks. Watching some Korean drama. Okay, so let me see. How are we going to do this? I should have thought of this beforehand, really. Okay, here goes. Turn you around, pop you under there, and then I can get close enough, I think, to show you. I suppose I should start right at the beginning, but here is a picture of the cord, which I'm going to make. It's a slightly round cord, which would be nice. It's stretchy for various things. And yeah, I'm going to pull this back so I can show you from the beginning. I have got a slip knot. If you don't know how to do that yet, go and find a video, peeps. There's lots of them. Right, let's make this blanket flattish here. We've got, I think we need a light. What do you say? Do you have a light? Let's see, is that any better? Yeah, probably. For those of you who follow me and will have seen my wound, just so you know, it's healed up, still has pain in it if I bump it, because it's got a lump here under the skin. Still numb. Still numb. No feeling. Definitely severed the nerve. Oh well, hey ho. Such is life. Start off with a slip knot, and I do 2 chain. Chain 1, chain 2, and into the first chain, farthest away from the hook, that is. First chain, I am going to do round the hook into the first stitch, pull it through. Okay? And finish the stitch. Now I want to find, this is where it's a bit difficult to see on this yarn, I think. I want to get hold of this loop here. This one here for the first round. So this is only for the first round. So yarn around the hook, into that loop I showed you, grab it, pull it through, grab it, pull it through. Come on, you can do it. Split the yarn, do it again. Right, we're starting over. Well, not all the way over, but start that stitch over. So here's my loop here, because I know it, because I made it bigger. Yarn over, pull through. Right. First couple are a little bit more tricky than the rest. After that, you want to kind of quarter twist your completed cord to find a stitch that's running this way here and that one there. But for this first one, I'm just going to go in here. It's a bit more tricky. And I'm going to pull through. Oh, my lordy, Michelle. Oh, peeps. This is going well. This is going very well. Back to the second stitch. Yarn around through these two loops. Grab it, pull it up, and then through. Makes more sense, doesn't it? Now I have a stitch here, and I have a stitch here that I want to go through. Pick up my yarn, go through that bottom stitch and that bottom stitch there. Pull. Told you this is awkward in the beginning. It's only the first few that are awkward. And then pull off. I didn't do that right, but I'm going to pretend it's okay, so I'll get there in the end. Now let's see, have I got that bottom loop yet? No. Okay, through there, pull out and through. Okay, now it's starting to look right. There's a loop and there's a loop. Pull through and out and twist a little. Yarn over. There's my first loop. So that's my first loop there. And that one that runs slightly at an angle to it is the second one. Pull through and pull through. Turn a little. 1, 2 stitches to go through. Under, out, go through. Slight twist. Okay, let's see if I can point it out to you again. Here's one loop, and here's the second loop. So we do yarn over, through the first, through the second, pull through, and crochet. Give it a tiny twist. There's one of your stitches, and there's the other. So we got one loop, 2 loops. Those are the ones you want to go through each time. 1, 2, pull through. Of course, you've got 3 on the loop, on the hook now, and then pull off the hook. Do it nice and loose in the beginning. It makes a big difference. So go. There's my stitch. There's the one kind of parallel to it, but a bit longer. Pull through and complete your double crochet. Twist slightly. There's my 2 stitches. One. Let's see if it's an easy way to identify them. So if you look, here's your loop. You've got a V here. It's just below that. You've got 2 stitches that run parallel to each other. One is short and one is long. That's what you want to grab. Right, through there, yeah. Pull through and complete your stitch. Little mini twist. Hook your yarn under your 2 stitches. Pull them through and complete your stitch. Little half a twist. It gets easier. I would suggest you practice this before you do the real McCoy, and it does definitely get easier. Bit of a twist. So again, hook your yarn. There's my first loop. There's my second loop. Hook through and complete. Under the first, under the second, pull out 3 stitches on the hook and complete. And that, my friends, is how you make this double crochet cord. Thing is, once you get the hang of it, it goes really quickly. So for a cord that you perhaps need for, I don't know, I mean, this is not going to be suitable for baby booties unless they're huge, or if they're in a very fine yarn, a 3-ply or 4-ply, and a smaller hook than this one. So this is a 3.5. I've hooked something. Let me just undo that one. Isn't it funny how you do get used to how a stitch feels? And I think that's how you get the hang of knitting and crocheting without looking. Is it's so much about the feel. Once you get the feel of how a stitch is in the hand, you know, how it feels under your fingertips, the thickness of the yarn and how many stitches are left, all of those things with experience lead to you being able to look away when you're knitting and crocheting. And it doesn't come all at once. It's one of those things you might glance up occasionally in the beginning, and with that the glances become slightly longer, and before you know it you're sitting there crocheting a few stitches at a time without actually looking at your work. That's all about breeding familiarity. So there you go. Shall I slow that down again? Got these 2. Got my stitch on my hook. Okay, I hook my yarn, double crochet, and I'm going under that short loop which wraps round the back and this long one which wraps round the back. And I'm going straight under them, pulling my yarn through, 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, pull off. Give it a little twist to bring those 2 parallel stitches back to the top. Pull the yarn through and finish the stitch. And you don't really see these 2 little parallel stitches until you've twisted your work a little. And if it's too tight, I doubt if you'd see them very well at all. So let's see what happens if I make my stitches too tight. So there they are there. I'm going to see if I can make them really tight. Yarn. So they're still loose because that was the previous stitch. Oof. That is horribly tight. Yeah, you see, you get the stitches still there, and that one's there. So you could do it if you wanted a really tight cord. It will work. On this pale yarn, it's quite difficult to see where your stitches are. This is why I was saying start this with doing it quite loosely until you get the hang of where your hook has to go. Yeah, it does work, and it makes a not bad cord, but you can see the difference in the tension already, can't you? I thought I would just go live quickly rather than trying to do a whole big video. I'm not into all of this fancy videography and editing, and just life's too short for me for all of that. I'm like fly by the seat of your pants kind of person that just does things spur of the moment and is spontaneous, and that's what I like. So really, if you're not spontaneous and you don't like that sort of thing, this may not be the space for you. But there you go. It's wonderful to see you guys anyway. And I hope you will get a chance to try this out. And it's a fun little thing, I think. This would make a lovely little project with beads on it. The kids could make these friendship bracelets, I think they're called, and things like that. But a cord for whatever you want, really. If you need a quick cord, this is the answer, because in that time we've managed to make a substantial and very robust cord using double crochet. I hope that's going to be of use to some of you, and I will speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.